Welcome to Voices from the Bench, a dental laboratory podcast. Send us an email at info@voicesfromthebench.com or look for us on Facebook at Voices from the Bench. Greetings and welcome to episode 179 of Voices from the Bench. My name is Elvis.
My name is Barbara.
Whoa.
I'm mixing it up for you. There you have it. I am a one happy girl. My 16-year-old got his driver's license this morning. So my chauffeur days are over and I am celebrating. I am so happy.
So he turned 16 and got his license? That's pretty rare these days.
No, he turned 16 a month ago and got his license today because he freaking waited to take his test. And so, yeah. But yes.
I have an 18-year-old that still hasn't got his license, so.
Shit. I went out to 10 different car dealerships and already got him a car. I'm like, see ya, buddy. Have fun. Enjoy your freedom.
Let me fill it up for you.
I can come in early and stay late and don't have to run to school. Not that I mind because I love my kid,
Sure.
But I'm so happy. I'm super happy.
Does he get to drive around the younger kid?
No, this is my younger kid.
Oh, I got him confused. Yeah, the other one's like in his 20s, isn't he?
Yeah.
I forgot how old you were.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. You can't use that. Age is just a number. I don't give a shit. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just, getting ready. Even though we're actually recording this episode much earlier in the week, I'm heading off to Lab Day West in Garden Grove tomorrow, so I'm super excited.
Yeah, and I'm heading to Chicago tomorrow to represent the NBC, so I'm super excited.
Nice.
Well, good for you.
Nice. What is the NBC working on? They changing the tests again?
I don't know, to be honest with you. This is going to be my first meeting. I was asked to fill in a seat for somebody that had to leave, so I'm looking forward to it, though.
Yeah.
That's right in my wheelhouse. I love education and all of that, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I know how you love board meetings.
I love hanging out with people and getting the hell out of town for once. And, you're going to have to wear a mask the whole time, but I don't even care.
Yeah.
Just get me out of town.
Same thing with Lab Day West.
Yep.
Even though this episode comes out after Lab Day West, I imagine everybody came by and said hello to me. I hope.
And said, hey, I know who you are, Elvis.
Oh, I recognize that voice. That's what I get all the time. But speaking of being around people, how was the FACD last weekend?
It was fantastic. Great speakers, great time. Had a lovely dinner at Capitol Grill with Lonnie and a couple of our docs, and really enjoyed myself. So thank you for asking. It was fantastic. It was not, a bunch of numbers in terms of people signed up,
Sure.
But not small either. And just to get out and see everybody and talk and network, I really, really enjoyed it. Because I think, that's my first going anywhere in probably a year and 8 months. So I loved it.
You remembered how to interact with the public and people, and
Yes, I did.
okay, good.
And doctors, because you know how much fun that is.
So the FACD, that's the Florida Academy of Cosmetic Dentistry, right?
Yes.
Oh, look at me, I'm smart. How is that different than the AACD that happens in Florida?
Because the Florida's the Florida, and the AACD is the American Academy of Cosmetic Dentistry. So it's in Florida, but the AACD has a different place every year. It just happens to be in Florida this year. But they're two different academies, very much affiliated for doctors that, like to be looking at high-end cosmetic work and go into different CE courses that gear towards that.
Does every state have an Academy of Cosmetic Dentistry?
No, it's just one, and you can, your state, you just belong to it wherever you are.
Yeah, but is there like an Arkansas Academy of Cosmetic Dentistry and a Mississippi?
No.
Oh.
You can be in any of those states, but then you are a part of the AACD, if that makes sense.
Not really. It's above my head.
But in Florida, it's mostly Florida. So yes, Florida is mostly home-based. Move on.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think you got it.
We'll just assume that I do.
Okay.
So this week, we wrap up the conversations we got while at the Print booth at the Ladies of the Mill Summit. Again, I say we.
Oh, I know. Next time I'll be there. I promise.
Yeah. So first, we want to give a big, huge, and enormous thanks to Jill Swafford and Christina Heaslip for putting on the stellar event and for inviting the podcast to be a part of it. If you want to hear about them and how they came up with the idea of Ladies of the Mill, we talked to them a couple months ago. So head over to episode 167 where we talked to them for a full episode. So this week we start off with a stepmom and daughter team. Kelly and Hannah Fincher from Cosmetic Advantage Dental Laboratory. I want to first sincerely apologize to Hannah. I did not capture her audio when we were recording live.
Bummer.
It was terrible, but I was able to boost Kelly's mic, who she was sitting right next to, just enough so we could hear what Hannah is saying.
Oh, you're so smart.
Yeah, it's not ideal, and I apologize for people listening. It gets kind of background noisy when Hannah's talking, but bear with us. I am really, really sorry. It's one of those things you just run into with the issues when you're recording live. But I promise, Hannah, when you take over your parents' lab, we will gladly have you back on the podcast and record you that time. But anyway, Kelly has a great story of being a nurse who meets a lab guy, they fall in love, and then Kelly becomes a lab lady and gets to raise Hannah into the business. And then we wrap up all the conversations from the whole weekend with Tay Harvey from An Accident, USA.
You're funny.
What can I say other than Tay and I sit down and we just chat? We cover so many different things. I think the best way to explain it is just to say, take a listen and laugh along. So join us again for the last time from this year's Ladies of the Mill Summit. Grow 3X is a dental supply, service, and marketing company. It was founded by Norbert Ulmer, and his goal with Grow 3X is to help dental labs, and especially small labs, to lower their costs for supplies, provide business opportunities, and generate growth.
Anybody can work with Grow 3X and buy from them at a very attractive prices. They carry amazing zirconia burrs, and their rainbow burrs are for PMMA and Trilor are top notch. They also carry zirconia from Adite and a wide range of Harvest dental products and different 3D print resins.
What's really cool about Grow 3X is that you can join their Grow 3X family program for only 99 cents.
What?
I know!
It's amazing.
It's cheaper than the dollar store.
Hell yeah.
This will then give you an additional 10% discount on all of their supplies and even their CAD/CAM design and fabrication services.
So you got to try it. They really want to help labs save and grow as they know how hard it is competing with the large groups. And by the way, did you guys know that Norbert from Grow 3X used to have his own lab some 10 years ago? So he really does know what labs need.
Get a 3-month trial membership with Grow 3X Family now for only 99 cents and receive 3 Shade Peg shots free of charge.
Shade Peg is a great stump shade material to better match even the most difficult shades. So if you're doing all ceramics, Shade Peg is where it's at.
So go over to grow3x.com and add the Grow 3X family to your cart. Then add 3 Shade Peg shots of 3cc each to your cart, and then go to checkout. But first, before you buy, enter the discount code VFTB for Voices from the Bench, and then you check out. Boom! It's that easy. We appreciate your support of the podcast, Grow 3X. Voices from the Bench. The interview. Awesome.
Yeah.
Ladies of the Mill, Chattanooga. We are with, you don't have a name tag, so you don't get a name. Hannah Fincher?
Yes, sir.
Fincher, Cosmetic Advantage, and
Kelly Fincher.
Kelly Fincher. Wait a minute. You're related somehow.
We are.
What are you? Sisters?
Thank you.
Shut up. No, you're not.
I'm actually her stepmom.
Nice.
So,
nice.
I've been in Hannah's life for like 16, 18 years now. Yeah.
I'm a stepdad. High
Hey,
five.
high five.
Boom.
Bonus parent. Bonus kid.
Nice.
So, yep. My husband and I own a lab. Hannah actually has worked in our lab for the last 6 years.
Really?
Yeah.
So did you grow up in this lab?
Not in this very lab, but my dad worked at a lab my entire life. So we would go to this lab and stay there.
So you know this lifestyle and how great it is. So your husband, your dad, worked in a lab, and where is this lab?
So
where are you guys from? What state?
So we're from Texas.
Okay.
We're in Louisville, which is a suburb of Dallas.
Okay.
And so my husband started his career in the Air Force.
Oh, nice.
Translated out.
I love Air Force trained dental technicians. Man,
Yes.
they are phenomenal.
They're sticklers, let me tell
Yeah.
you. Transitioned out into the civilian world where he worked for Westbrook Dental Lab for 13 years and then ventured out and started his own in 2009. And
So 2009, he opens up his own. Now, we all know 2008 was like that terrible year.
Yes,
But
and
yeah,
we
he's-
started it in the very beginning of 2009. We were kind of crazy,
Yeah.
but young and full of ambition and naivety. Is that the word? We're naive enough to not know what we should be
Hey,
afraid
sometimes
of.
ignorance gets you far. So you met him when?
I actually met him in 2006.
Did you know what a dental technician was?
Nope, didn't even know the dentist didn't make your teeth.
Yeah?
Yep.
And when he told you, did you think he was a dentist?
No, he was like, I make teeth for dentists. That's what he said. And I was like, you mean the dentist doesn't make the teeth themselves?
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I do. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So we actually met in Rochester, New York. I was going to nursing school.
Oh.
And he, so Westbrook had been bought by a large group called
Okay,
DTI,
yeah.
and they had sent him up to work at one of their other labs that was just needing some help.
In
so,
Rochester,
in
New
Rochester,
York. Did you
New York.
go or was, okay.
Yeah. So he and I met within the first week of moving there and quickly started dating, and we're only there for a year.
Yeah.
Moved back to Texas, where I started to be a nurse, and he went back to working back at
Do
Westbrook.
you like this guy enough to move to Texas?
Well, we're both from Texas. That's what's
weird.
so funny.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay.
We call it kind of a God thing because, he's 9 years older than me. I was 23 when I met him. He was 32, had 3 kids, was divorced, and I probably would have never given him the time of day, and he probably, I don't know, we just would have never met up, even though,
Hey.
our families were 20 minutes apart. Like,
Really?
Yeah, there was just all of this coincidence.
Yeah.
And so he was only up there for 9 months. I was there for a year getting accelerated BSN in nursing. And then we came back he came back first, and I followed him. I was in love. I was like, I'm going to Dallas to get my first nursing job. So otherwise, my original plan before I met him was I was going to get my degree. I was going to be a travel nurse, and I was going to just see where life took me.
Does nurses' degrees travel from state to state, or is it like dentists where it's like once you have that
There
license?
are compact states. So
Okay.
Texas is a compact state, but I actually didn't sit for my boards until I got back to Texas. So
Okay.
I was licensed and always stayed there. But there are certain states that you can go
Okay,
across state
that's
lines
a side
and practice.
question. I just wanted to know. I'm curious about stuff.
Yeah,
so,
there you go.
So you came to Texas as a nurse.
As a nurse.
At what point did you say it's time to become a dental technician?
Well, so he opened up our business in 2009.
What's it called again?
Cosmetic Advantage Dental Lab.
Yep.
We had an account set up, ready to go, that was going to send us work when we opened our doors on April 1st.
Okay.
And those doors opened, and so did 54 cases. And so we were totally overwhelmed. We immediately hired 2 employees. He had friends, you want to come work for us? And I became a model technician. And that same month, Hannah came to live with us the year we opened our lab. So I did a weekender nurse program where I worked every Saturday and Sunday night, and they paid you like you worked 40 hours, but you had to commit to working every weekend.
Oh.
So I worked Saturday and Sunday nights as a nurse, would come home Monday morning, sleep, and then Tuesday through Friday, I was a model technician for our first year. So that was fun.
Yeah. Everyone knows the best job in a dental lab is the model room.
Oh, yes. The dirtiest job for
That's
sure.
true.
And let me tell you, I am not a neat model room technician. I'm that person that just wipes their hands on their front, on their back. I just was covered. And we worked in this cute little downtown area in McKinney to where you could walk to a lot of restaurants and stuff.
Yeah.
So lunchtime, I'm like, I'm going to go get lunch. I was covered.
in
People
that.
would be like, are you an artist? Yes, I am. So that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
It was really great. Our very first landlord, his name, he went by Doug.
Yeah.
And he would be like, wait, you make teeth? You sell teeth. So if I come in, you'll pull my teeth and sell them to someone else? And we're like, no,
Yeah.
that's not how. I mean, he was a funny guy.
I love it how people
He was a
think
really
our
funny guy.
industry is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, back then, downtown McKinney couldn't even rent out stuff. And so we applied for our certificate of occupancy for our first lab, and were denied because they're like, we don't allow any medical down here. Well, our landlord owned like 25% of downtown McKinney, and so he was like, you go back down there and say you're an office building, and I'm going to set them straight. And so sure enough, we reapplied, and we were there for 4 years until they really did grow, and they're like, you need to get out. And we're like, oh, that's fine. We need to.
Are you still pouring models?
No. So I only did it for the first year. Getting back on topic, and we grew enough to where we had enough employees that I really stepped out and really just did the business side of things. Fast forward to, I guess, about 2013, we got into a bigger lab, bigger building, actually moved cities.
Oh, really?
We went from McKinney to Louisville, where our lab is now. And
Louisville?
Louisville, Texas.
But not Louisville.
No, it's actually spelled how it sounds, Lewisis.
Oh, finally. So every time I say Louisville wrong, I can just say I'm talking about your town.
You're just talking about Texas.
Yeah, okay.
Louisville, Texas. Yeah, no, exactly. And believe it or not, every vendor I talk to is like, oh, it really is Louisville. I'm like, yeah. They're like, that's cool.
We recorded in Louisville a couple of years ago, and I got
an education?
Yeah. I said it wrong to the wrong people, and it was not good.
Yeah. But so, and we just continue to grow. We have started a second little company that caters to different, so Cosmetic Advantage, we do a lot of high-end work, a lot of cosmetics, and so we wanted to try and diversify. So we actually have another company now called Zirconiamilling.com. And it just mills. It's kind of like, I guess you could compare it to like alien milling or something like that. But we don't market it to dental lab technicians. We market it to dentists who are doing their own in-house designs, who maybe mills their Emacs in office, but they don't want to mess with that zirconia because it's so messy.
Sure.
And so a lot of times they'll just outsource that to us.
Interesting. That's been successful?
Yeah, it has been, because we really have a lot of accounts that use us for multifaceted things. And so we're like, hey, if you want to save money, like they'll send us all their cosmetics, but they do their own Emacs. But hey, if you want to do your zirconia and you want to do it cheaper, do it this way. And so it's been fun. We've had some fun with it. It's definitely something that I want to continue to grow, which is one of the reasons why I've come into our lab more full-time.
It's a good thing you stopped pouring models, because it sounded like you took off with it. What about you? When did you, well, I mean, obviously Dad, but.
Right. So, I mean, growing up in the whole lab was different. I didn't think I'd ever be in this. I wanted to be a vet.
A vet? Yeah.
And when I went to college, I graduated high school, hated it, came home, and said I want to work in the lab.
Nice.
Started out staining and glazing.
Really? Are you still staining and glazing? How long have you been doing it?
It's been on and off. I've done a couple different things in the lab. I've done model work. I've done scanning.
Design?
Very little.
Yeah.
Very little. Staining glaze was mostly what I did.
Yeah.
When I have to.
If you have a talent for it, you got an eye for it, keep doing it. It's good stuff.
It really is. Absolutely.
So, are you hoping to be in this career forever?
I hope to maybe take over the business one day if they let me.
Wink, wink. Yeah. Nice. Do you guys do removable?
No.
Nope. Only fixed.
Only fixed.
Nice.
So I think there's a huge need for removables, especially in the Dallas market. Well, a lot of our accounts ask us to. And actually, that's what Jimmy was trained in the Air Force. That's what he did for.
Was that the dad and husband?
Huh?
I don't think we said his
Sorry,
name.
yes.
Okay, yeah.
Jimmy.
Okay.
Jimmy Fincher. He's what his initial training was all of that. And so he knows how to do it. But his love was Crown and Bridge. And every once in a while, he'll throw out that idea of let's do it. And I'm like, you don't have time. You don't have time.
It's a whole new ball of wax, to use the term. Yes, it's a lot.
Yeah, different equipment, different setups, and so
different skill set you have to find. Yeah.
I think, though, like with any good dental lab technician, they enjoy doing everything. It's just about how much time and what do you really want to focus on. And so Jimmy is very innovative. He has that entrepreneurial spirit, so he gets bored easily and wants to change it up. And it's about us as his team kind of supporting him and funneling, like, let's just keep it where we're doing what our best work is and elevating those items, because I feel like he could very easily spread himself too thin, just because he's just always thinking about what can I do better.
Themselves too thin? Haven't heard that before.
I know.
Yeah.
So when I say I married into the dental lab field, that truly is it.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't ever think I would work in our business, much less leave nursing. But, you know, it's just kind of been something that we've kind of come to that crossroads of, do we want to hire someone in to run it, or do we want to keep it with us? And we really have enjoyed growing it and doing it ourselves. And I said, no, I think I'm ready to jump in this with you. And
You're not still working on the weekends, are you?
No. I actually just quit for the second time this past June. June 1st was my first day to be full-time in our lab. I actually quit the month before COVID.
Really?
And COVID hit, and that is when my boss calls me from the hospital, and she goes, I know you've been gone for 2 weeks, but we don't really know what the future holds, and I've just had to quarantine half my staff because of exposures.
Sure.
This was back when if you were
Nobody
exposed,
knew.
you got quarantined.
Yeah.
We didn't wait for symptoms. We just quarantined you.
Yeah.
And she's like, can you come and help us? And I said, sure. So I went back to the hospital, signed up for a couple shifts, and during that time is when they shut down the dentistry in Texas. And so I was like, oh, how about I work for you full time? Because we just, lost our ability to have an income.
So did your lab shut down?
We shut down.
Yeah.
Well, so what we ended up doing is we furloughed all of our employees. We were still there if someone needed something, but I can tell you we maybe did one crown in the 5 weeks that we were fully shut down.
Yeah, it's tough. That's good that you had nursing to go back to.
Yeah, exactly. And in fact, you talked about how you just had a lot of downtime. Well, my husband found himself as a single dad because we were nervous enough that I ended up just living in our camper for a month while he was home with the kids.
I've heard stories about that, about nurses and doctors like living in tents or in the garage during this because nobody was sure about what was going on.
We just didn't. And I think as healthcare workers, we felt very obligated to be there because if we weren't there, who would be?
Yeah.
But our biggest fear was not getting sick ourselves, but making our families sick.
Absolutely.
So I have, I have young ones at home. I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, and so that was also a big influence in me coming to the lab because I wanted that flexibility of being able to work when I wanted to work and be home with my kids when I wanted to. I've got one that's starting kindergarten, and I want to take her to school every day.
Yeah.
And I can't do that with a nursing life, and
yeah, because you do like weird 24-hour shifts and all that,
just
right?
12 hours.
12 hours.
12-hour shifts.
But
yeah.
still.
Yeah.
I mean, not that dental technicians don't spend 12 hours in a lab, but
if that's all my husband worked, I would be happy. So
he's one of those in at 4, out at 11.
Yeah, I mean, a 12-hour day is a normal thing, 6 to 7 days a week. And
wow.
That's another reason that I joined, was trying to figure out balance and a better flow because, doctors have, you have a turnaround time, and it doesn't matter how much comes through that door. They all expect it back in that time.
You can't call and say, I'm really busy. Can I get another day?
Well, only if maybe you do it on the day it rolls in.
You catch it early, sure.
But it's just been some unchecked growth, and so we feel really blessed. I mean, people are going back to the dentist in the droves, it feels like, and we don't know how long this wave will last. Is this just an elevated bubble and it will kind of flatten back out, or I mean, we don't know, but we want to handle it right and manage it right, and so that's why I'm here. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
it's a great story.
Thanks.
That's cool.
Thanks.
I didn't realize you were mother and daughter.
It's okay. No one ever has.
Yeah.
So let's see. I'm 16 years older than you. So if I was really your mom, I'd be a young mom. But
Yeah, it happens.
It does. It does. But I call Hannah my bonus kid. When she came to live with us at 12, I didn't have any kids, and so I learned a lot from her. I call her my firstborn, even though she's the baby of the older ones. So poor kid. We learn a lot with first ones. So
step parents, man, unite.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean,
you learn a lot fast.
Yes.
At an age where you don't get that gradual.
Yeah.
So.
But at the same time, it's probably one of the most rewarding relationships because when you have a good relationship with a stepkid, it doesn't have to be there. And when it is, it's so wonderful. You feel really, really blessed.
Awesome. So why'd you guys come to Ladies of the Mill? Did I ask that already?
No.
I don't think I did. What brought you here?
Well, I don't know. I love Ladies of the Mill. So I joined the group when it was only 30 members. And I don't even remember how I found it. Maybe it was just a suggested group you might like. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I joined it because I'm just interested in dentistry. I try and learn through osmosis just because I don't know what I'm doing, but I want to know. And I do all the buying, and so I'm always looking for new products and people's ideas, and then I take them back to my husband, like, hey, I saw this. What do you think?
I
Is
need
this
to talk
something?
to you about Preet when we're done, by the way.
Oh, sure. Hey, look at you. I recognize the name.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm obligated to do that, by the way.
It's okay.
So you saw him on Facebook.
Yeah, saw him on Facebook. And then with Chicago Midwinter in 2020, I knew they were going to be there. So I thought, you know what the heck? We'll meet up. And ends up, we were at one of the mixers for LabStar owners.
Yeah.
And Christina and her husband do LabStar, and they just happened to be there. And so we just sat there for an hour talking and ended up meeting up for drinks later. And I met Jill. And so it was just really neat to meet them early on. And so it just made it so much easier for me to feel interactive in the group because I hadn't met them and, talked. And so I've just really stayed active in the group just through social media. And so, of course, when she posted, like, this is what's going on, I'm like, I am there. I hope I was the first person to buy a ticket. I don't think I was, but, I mean, literally, they posted it. I was like, purchased 2 tickets. I said, hey, guess what? We're going to Tennessee. And she goes, okay.
Nice.
She's my travel buddy. Like, we love going places together.
Yeah?
So,
So you've been to Chicago, Lab Day, and all that?
So her first lab day, my first lab day, was on her 18th birthday. We took her to Chicago for her 18th birthday, made her do it with us.
18th birthday,
Took her to
though.
Second City, got to see our first comedy club.
I've been to Second City. They took me there a couple years ago. That was a ton of fun.
Yeah, that was her 18th birthday. So we had a blast.
You have to be 18 to go there, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, you do.
If I remember the language.
Yeah.
It was fun, though. I had a great time. Well, there's a stand-up comedian here tonight. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited, too.
I don't know who she is, but
I just love comedy,
I
so
do, too.
I'm like, sign me up. I'm a go with the flow kind of girl. So you say, there's comedian. I'm like, let's go laugh. I don't care.
Yeah,
so
awesome, cool.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down. Had
Thanks
a great
for having
time.
us.
Thank you so much.
This is not live.
No, it's definitely not live, and everything's edited. Do you want to sit?
Yeah, I kind of do.
Okay, I don't have a chair, so I got this.
You got your Pelican. Oh, this is an impressive, I don't get to see this side of things.
Yeah, you like that?
I do. This is really cool. For some reason, this device, what is this?
Zoom.
It's
Zoom
a Zoom.
H6. Yeah.
Zoom X. What does it do?
It is the interface, so it allows for multiple microphones to go into one plug.
Well, this is being advertised to me on my Facebook feed.
Oh, I bet.
And I didn't
They're very
know.
Popular.
So it knows.
Yeah. So honestly, they knew you were going to see it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I could not connect this and record directly on this.
Yeah.
So it's very portable.
Oh.
And this is actually a microphone on top you can put a thing on.
That's
so I can
pretty
walk around
cool.
and be like,
And record everybody.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So here we are, day 2, Ladies of the Mill, Chattanooga at the Preet booth with Tay from An Accident.
It's not an accident. It's An Accident. I've thought seriously about just changing the name to Annax.
Oh.
So if you notice,
lose the dent?
Yes, because nobody can say it.
No, I think it's accident. An accident.
An accident. And it's because the X and the D, whatever. But I think I'm just going to go Annax.
You can do that?
I think so. I'm working on it. All our stickers say Annax. When we talk about who we are, I say Annax for short. So I think we're going to, I think we're going to change it.
But isn't that a whole legal thing you need to do?
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
My husband's a patent attorney.
Oh, that's convenient.
So he's going to do that for me.
That's convenient.
Yeah. Yeah, day 2.
So why did you come to Ladies of the Mill?
Because I'm a lady.
Are you?
Number 1. I'm a lady.
Yeah.
I came to Ladies of the Mill. I met Jill through a mutual friend, Chris Bradley from Smileline.
Yeah.
So she introduced me and Jill right when COVID hit. I think we were kind of looking to connect with other business owners, female business owners, because we were navigating so much at the time, owning a business and dealing with COVID and the payroll protection program, all that. So we had a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got to know her, and we've kept connected. We just hit it off. And when she mentioned they were going to have a meeting for Ladies of the Mill, I was like, yes, I'm there. That's great. I want to support you. So, I don't know. I'm here to bring our products to this group, but it's really been less of an experience of standing behind a table, showing people products, and more just getting to know people.
It is not a look at this product
No.
type show, but it's a great show.
It is. And what I noticed, usually when I'm at a trade show, maybe one female technician will come by to talk to us out of every 10 to 15 technicians. Maybe one's going to be female.
Yep.
And so female technicians are often just standing in a group where they're the only one. And there's a certain thing that does, I think, there's something that does to your confidence, or I don't know, it changes the way you have conversations with people. It changes your confidence. You just feel a little out of place. So I've noticed, it's such a different experience talking to the same women that I've met at trade shows for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
When they've come to my booth, talk to me, I've learned so much more about their businesses.
At this show.
Yeah, they're just not, that boundary's not up.
They're very open.
Yeah.
I mean, we've recorded a ton here.
Yeah.
Everyone loves to tell their story.
Yeah, but I think that they know that this is an audience for their story, where I think a lot of us feel like our story isn't as relevant in the male-dominated industry. And I don't say it's male-dominated as a complaint at all.
Sure.
It's just the way it's evolved over time.
Absolutely.
But
there's a shift.
There is a little shift. And
coming.
certainly in this room, it gives us this little peek into what it could be like if we didn't feel like we were the minority in the room.
Yeah. Well, there's a shift in dentistry on the clinical side.
Huge. And it's been for a long time.
And now you hear that there's more females in school now than
Yes.
men.
Yes.
And that shift is just going to continue.
Yep.
And it's a great thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to come into our industry.
Yeah, I think it has to. You think. I love to see that these women, like I said, that have come by, and I've seen them in a different light at other shows before. I see them more open, more confident now. I think having experiences like this meeting will start to show them, oh, this is how it could be. It doesn't matter when I'm the only woman in the room. This is how I need to have conversations with my vendors, or, I have the perspective of a vendor, so that's all I can speak to. But I hope it changes how they feel when they go back to what's a more typical trade show experience. I think it will.
I agree.
And I think that experience being multiplied or repeated, I know they're going to do this next year.
I heard a rumor that they're going to be making an announcement.
Yes. So, I hope this will come out after the announcement. So I'm not. Okay.
Long after.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm excited about the impact it's had already, but I'm excited about the fact that there's so much support and enthusiasm behind it that it's going to continue.
This was Annex's first meeting after COVID.
Yes. Yes.
That's huge.
It is.
Because you guys used to do a ton of trade shows.
And I don't think we will. I don't think that's, you're
not going to do every show possible?
No. And I feel bad, because I'm so grateful for the people that organize meetings, that give us these opportunities. So I don't want to discount that. But we learned how to do things a little differently. And we're a really small company with a really small staff. Mm-hmm. So I think COVID taught us that we had to be a little bit more protective of our time.
Yep.
And I don't have to fool myself to think I'm competing with Ivoclar or Dentsply or any of these large companies. I'm not. So if they're somewhere where I'm not, it's okay.
It is okay.
It's okay. I need to be where we add value. And at meetings like this, we add value. At some, smaller meetings where we're bringing something that's specifically helpful to people, we add value there. So we just have to look at it differently.
You don't want to be a booth in a sea of thousands of booths.
Yeah. I call it the lemonade stand. Like we've got the lemonade stand and everybody else has the big booth.
They brought in a truck. To set up their booth that needed a crew and a crane.
We're never going to have that. But our Chicago booth is going to be badass.
Is it going to be
badass? Just putting that out there.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm on the air, Jill.
We're live! Well, that's a first. Never have someone been called on stage while we're recording.
First time. You talk to people like me, and this kind of stuff's going to happen.
Do you need to go up?
I don't know. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Well, that's exciting.
Yes.
So a post you did on Instagram.
Yes.
On what? When did you do it?
It was me and Casey looking very serious about how we're going to sell things here.
Yeah. As all your posts are very serious.
Very serious.
Very straight to business. I've seen them. They're almost depressing. They're so straight to business.
So we had posted a picture of me and Casey at our booth, and it's tagged where I was.
Yeah.
So it said Chattanooga Hotel, and I think she just saw that and thought, well, I want to be there. She said, I don't know how I didn't see this. I'm a member of all the groups and everything, but there are so many groups.
Yeah.
So,
She drove an hour and a half, missed the first day just to come to the second day.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and she said she was so surprised that this even existed. Which is, I think this is a long overdue meeting, and I'm grateful that Jill and Christina saw it's intimidating to put something out there and hope an audience shows up.
Yeah.
We do that all the time. We don't have a big team of sales reps, and so any event I do is huge risk if we don't get enough people in.
If you don't get the people.
And they're the same. They don't have a sales force out there.
And there's a lot of people that didn't know about this.
A lot of people.
Still don't. Mm-hmm. And once they find out, this could be huge.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of the balance. With social media, it's a challenge to stay realistic about how many people are or are not seeing your content. Because it's free, so you can just keep posting.
Yep.
And then you think that everybody's seeing it. But you have to be honest with yourself and realize, I've only got X number of followers, and the market's so big. So really a minority of people are going to see what you put out there.
Not many.
No.
Not many. Unless you're paying.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't pay.
I don't either.
I don't know who would, honestly.
No.
Why?
We tried like boosting a post or whatever. On Facebook, we stopped trying. Like, Facebook buries us so deep.
Very.
So deep. Instagram doesn't. So we post on Instagram, and that gets more. Instagram stories, like we started doing stories in the last year, and it's a totally different audience.
I don't understand how those work.
Oh, you just got to start doing them.
I know, but you see it, and then it's gone.
It's gone in 24 hours. But the whole day, think about it.
So if I wanted to go back and see something I saw yesterday, I can't.
You can't, but that's why you have to watch while they're there. So there's like a sense of urgency about it, right? And the other thing that's great is, like, if you pull up your Instagram account and you're just looking at your feed, like, you're constantly being told.
Yeah, I look at those all the time, but I just don't get it. Like, you can't see it again.
You can't see it again, but you can save them in your highlights.
Oh.
I don't know who looks at highlights on pages. I don't know.
I don't even know how you get to a highlight.
Well, so you get to a highlight by going to a profile, and then you've got your highlights. Yep. And some people are like good at it. They've got little icons for each thing. I don't know. I don't know how to do all that, but I try to remember to save things in my highlights, but I forget a lot. Yeah. But anyway, stories have been the best. And the reason I like them, sometimes I'll have something I want to post, and I'm not sure if it's like something I want to live on my page forever. Maybe I'm not real sure that it's a message that's going to connect with everybody, or that everybody's going to care, or somebody's not going to be offended.
Yeah.
So I put that kind of stuff in our stories.
Because it's going to be gone.
It's going to be gone. Some people will see it. It won't live forever. So I don't know. I think stories are really powerful.
I spend a lot of time looking at them, but I've never really utilized them.
And that's the thing. Everybody who looks at them all the time. So people might not see my feed. So sometimes I'll share my posts to my story, and different people will see it than would have seen it if I just left it as a post. So that works too.
And if anyone's listening that doesn't follow an accident, you should. You guys do some hilarious stuff.
We've got good stories.
Way too much fun at
So
work.
everybody who works at Annexton is funny. Like, I don't know.
Is that a criteria for hiring?
I have to like you. Yes.
Okay.
I have to like you. You have to make my day fun.
Nice.
Because I spend all my time there. So when I interview people, I don't tell them you have to make my day fun. That would be weird. But I say...
you have to entertain me.
But, you can kind of tell if you're going to like somebody.
Yeah.
But I tell them, listen, everybody's good in the interview. Like, people can put away a bad attitude for an interview.
Yeah.
So I just tell them, if you bring an attitude in here that is not making me feel good, if you make me feel bad... you got to go.
Yeah.
Like, and I know that some people would think that's not enough to be fired. It is enough here. And so because we don't let negativity or bad attitudes come and live there, everybody's good. Everybody's happy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How many people work there?
So Casey is our only employee who doesn't work in Ardmore in the office. It's me, James, Rachel, and Katie. So all of us are in the office pretty much every day. I mean, I travel, but we all work in Ardmore, and then Casey's out on the road for us.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's time. We are. We're trying to find somebody for West Coast. I probably can't afford anybody in California like Preet.
So you're looking for outside sales reps?
Yeah, I'm looking for
Nice.
Yeah, I am.
That's good growth.
It is good growth.
Because you've never had outside sales. I mean,
just Casey.
Casey, yeah.
And Casey wasn't in the beginning, and we'd never really regionalized our customer base. And then we decided, we had products where we were doing courses. So for us to interact with you in person, we had to see you at a show or be at a course. Maybe sometimes I'd go out a couple days early and visit customers.
Sure.
But, I do everything. So, not everything, but I do a lot. So I'm running the business. I'm doing all our marketing. And, I get behind on that stuff.
I bet.
If I travel. So I travel as little as possible. So we decided when Casey had some personal life developments that would make it great if she could move to Georgia, we were like, let's do it. Just move to Georgia. We're going to try to learn how to have outside sales reps. It's been a learning experience.
I get it.
So we put her out on the road, and it's been great. It took a while to figure things out, but now she's just doing a great job, and we want to replicate that, and we've invested a lot in infrastructure and systems that work for us now. So we're ready. We're way more ready than when we moved Casey to Georgia.
You're ready for the flood of business.
We're ready, and we have so much business in that area of the country, and I know it would be great if we could have somebody that could be in the labs and be in the practices and helping them be successful with our products. But I'm super intimidated.
How are you going to keep up on the
right
box
person.
art if you get this much more business?
Dude, Katie, she's amazing. So she's not the same Katie that I talked about in the podcast interview. It's a new Katie.
Was that a criteria for hire? You got to have the same name because I can't remember everybody.
I know. It's spelled differently, and her full name is Caitlin, so it's a little different, but we call her Katie. And when I interviewed her, she asked her about, what she did in her personal, what are your hobbies? What are your interests? She said, I do hand lettering. You do what? I do. I practice hand lettering and letter art.
Yeah.
I said, what? Have you seen our Instagram? She was like, yeah. So I brought something to show you what I can do. This girl, I know she will eventually be a technician.
Really?
The more she's with us, she's
That means you'll lose her, though.
I know. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe she can just learn how to do the things.
And then go out and teach for you?
Yeah, maybe.
Nice.
She's one of those people that, she could grow into a lot of different roles. But she's loving what she's doing right now. Every single box that goes out the door, she's personally putting art on. And
Holy schmoly.
It's it's not scribble art. It's really good.
I've seen pictures of it.
Yes, she's really good. But she loves it. And when she takes a break, she doesn't leave. She stays there. She gets her little brushes out, and she's doing hand lettering. She's practicing because she just likes doing it.
That's
she does it at night. She does it
yeah.
on her break. So she is getting her creative fix with every shipment that goes out.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
You
I feel
lucked out
like
there.
I did. And Casey and I were just talking about that this morning because we were talking about, hey, are we going to be able to find somebody? How realistic is it that we're going to find somebody to add to our team that is going to be a great fit, as great a fit as everybody else on the team right now?
Remote.
Yeah. It's hard.
It's tough.
It's real hard. And we've had to be real honest with ourselves about the kind of environment we're creating for Casey because we have all these expectations for her.
Yeah.
Well, your job is to go out and see everybody, and you're supposed to be just as great as you were when you were in the office with us.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to take that out into the world. That's hard to do.
It is. I just started.
Yeah. It's really hard.
It takes a lot to walk into a place and just be on.
Yeah.
And, there's windshield time driving around.
It's lonely. You're on your own. You're on your own.
It can be, but you get to meet a lot of cool people.
Yeah, you really do. We just found this app that we're using. We tried it out, and we're definitely using it, that helps us kind of be more efficient in how we plan
the
our
routes?
routes. Yes.
What's this app called? I might need it.
It's amazing. It's called Portator.
Portator?
Yeah. So you export your whole customer base, import it into Portator, and then you can label your customers. Like you can say, I want to see this customer every 60 days. I want to see this customer every 180 days. You can put in there how much they've purchased from you, you know.
Oh.
And then Portator is constantly just automatically throwing you a route. And it's amazing. And like say you talk to somebody and they're like here and you say, I'll come see you next week. So you just pull up Portator, pull them up and add to schedule and it'll recalculate your next week so that they're in there. It'll tell you where to go. If somebody no-shows or they can't see you and you had time booked out, you just pull up the app and you just say missed appointment and recalculate your schedule and it will recalculate your day.
So here's my issue. So I'll plan a route and let's say I'm going to stop by like 6 labs that day. Mm-hmm. I go to one and I walk in and they're too busy to see me. I'm out in 5 minutes.
Yep.
The next one I go into, they're like, hey, here's a chair, sit down. And I'm there for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I don't know how to plan that.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
So you can either have it'll fill your schedule.
Yeah.
And you can make appointments. So you can look at your schedule. So what I do, I go one day a week. Like on Wednesdays I go travel and see my customers in my car.
Yeah.
So every Wednesday it knows I'm going to be working the road. So it'll tell me who to go see. And then I'll pull that schedule up and go, okay, so I'll start calling people and confirming the ones that I'm worried about.
Sure.
And the minute I confirm it, I convert it to an appointment. So now it knows this is something where I've told the person I'm going to be there.
Interesting, yeah.
And the rest of it is just me stopping by. So when I have something where I'm there longer than I thought I'd be, then I just change the schedule to say this lasted until this time, recalculate, and it recalculates.
I think this would be huge just for labs, going out to visit dental offices.
Absolutely. I mean, it's amazing. So it's like $90 a month for each user.
Yeah.
But, I mean, and there's I'm going to show you.
Remember, it's a podcast.
Whatever, it's a podcast. They can't see this, but so you can enter notes too on the visit. I've pre-programmed some options. It's really easy to do that kind of stuff, customize it. So I've pre-programmed options for our products that we're focusing on right now. And we can say our opportunity at this appointment is X, Y, and Z product.
Yep. You talked to them about this.
Yeah,
they were
this
interested
customer
in this.
uses X, Y, and Z product, and we want to talk about ABC. Then the notes from the call, you pull up and you just enter on your phone or, dictate them, whatever. Yeah. And we had custom fields put in where I say, they're interested in these products.
Interesting, yeah.
It's very cool. Very, very cool.
It is cool. I'm going to look into it.
It's good. And you're right. I never thought about how it would be very good for labs, too.
Yeah.
It would be very good for labs. And you can customize it. Like, you can tell it to prioritize customers based on any criteria you really want.
So when you have that office that uses a lot of fixed and you're trying to get the removable business, you could actually make those notes, make sure that next time you stop by, you're talking about not something they're already buying, talking about the other. That's cool.
It's really cool. And it's if you get done early, let's say the opposite happens where you have a good meeting, but you're done an hour before you anticipated. If you have appointments booked the rest of that afternoon, it's not going to mess with those. But if your rest of your afternoon's just filled with random people you're going to stop by, then you just press recalculate and it'll fill more people in. So no matter how your plans change, it's going to get you to the most customers possible, and you tell it what time you want to get home. Here's the latest I want to get to my house. If you're starting from a hotel somewhere else instead of your home that week, you just tell it that, and you tell it you want to get back there by this time.
Or if you want to go to the next town over, the hotel, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. You can even pull the map up, and there's a lasso tool where you can circle an area. Like, I want to see all these people on these dates.
Populate it. That's cool.
It's really cool. It's from an Austrian company. And the people, before we even bought it, they were calling us every week. Is it working? Do you want some help?
Nice.
It's really been a cool experience.
And you brought over your customer base on an Excel?
Yeah.
Just straight over?
So every week I export our customer base and re-import it so that it
constantly updates.
constantly updates. And every week I export our sales report for the customers, so it constantly updates the revenue. Next to the name of each customer, it says the date they last ordered anything from us.
Wow.
So we always know. I mean, it's...
You guys are on top of it.
You watch out, because...
You're going to have that big booth.
The booth. Let me just tell you. Like, when people see it, they'll know what I'm talking about, but we really, really worked hard to figure out a way. It's our 10th anniversary.
Okay.
So we worked really hard to come up with an idea of something so modular that we could buy a little bit more of it every month, because we were, on pause with trade shows for almost 2 years. We had 2 years to buy this booth. So let's buy a little bit each month and make it really affordable for us, where we're not out all this cash all at once. It's because of that objective that the booth ended up being what it is. And I'm so excited about it. But it's going to be badass.
How much space do you have at Chicago?
It's 3 booths in line. So we have a corner and then 2 in line.
Wow.
Because CM buys 1 booth, and they're right next to us. So we have 3 total. So what we had to buy, we will only use the full version of it in Chicago. I almost brought the small version of it here, but I told Jill, I showed it to her. She's one of the only people that's seen it. But I was like, well, then people are going to kind of already have a little idea, and it's not as badass as the big one. So
you want to open it,
it's waiting till Chicago.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited. But James is already planning to get there like a day early to start putting it together, because...
Where do you have to ship it in and everything?
Yes. God, there's going to be so many boxes. And I still remember, like, in the first year that we sent a pallet to Chicago, we were so proud of ourselves. Like, we posted a picture of it on our Facebook because we were big enough that we needed a pallet.
No, I never got to experience the vendor side until like 2 years ago when I was the podcast and I was there. That is epic. The amount of stuff that comes in and the amount of stuff that goes out of Chicago
and
Lab Day.
And it feels so ridiculous. Like, it feels so crazy.
It's just a chaotic running around of everybody and pallets and shipping crates. And
well, and do you know, we have a keg in our booth every year. We have since the second year. And we're never sure if we're going to be able to get it in. Like, it's such a nightmare to try to get it to the booth. And so every year we order it, and we say, all right, we're going to get it
every
there.
year it makes it.
Every year we make it, just by the skin of our teeth. But it's one of the elements of our Chicago experience at our booth that we're never sure.
I didn't realize that. I didn't realize you didn't have the okay to do that.
Well, we don't ask. We don't have to know, but we don't have the okay. And but we learned you can't have a 4-wheel cart to bring it in. It has to be 2 wheels.
So you got to use like a dolly.
Yeah, you have to use a dolly. You cannot use a cart.
That's
you have
a weird
to use
rule.
a dolly. It's a really weird rule. Then some years they'll let the guy park where he needs to. Some years they won't, and so we might have to figure out somewhere else to go. So
where do you get it from? A local?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they just deliver it.
They deliver
with
it.
The tap.
And then the tap never works. I mean, it's a nightmare, that keg. A nightmare.
Well,
and I think they roll it around in the back and throw it a couple times because it's so foamy until the end of the first day. But it's worth it.
We've talked to Judy Fishman about the alcohol at the show.
Yeah.
She says she does look at it. She doesn't.
I like that.
She just doesn't make a deal about it. Exactly. She doesn't know what happens.
Somebody gave me the best parenting advice that's right along that line one time. They said, don't see everything.
Ignorance will get you far in life.
I like that. Don't see everything.
I don't know. Did he do it? I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't see that. I'll let that one slide.
It's good to let them know that they got away with something.
Yeah, exactly. We need that satisfaction experience in life when we head out into the world. I can't wait for Chicago. I'm really excited about Chicago.
Yeah.
This has made me excited about it rather than wonder if I remember how to do this.
Yeah. So Lab Day West, you guys aren't going to be at?
Mm-mm. No. And we go to Lab Day West. It's always a fantastic show. but it's a hard one for us. I don't think we add value there. I just don't think we do.
I've never been. This will be my first time. I'm excited.
Yeah. We don't do education there because it's a smaller show, so I can't really staff it with enough people to have a course going and have the booth going. And it's like Fast and Furious down there. I mean, it's just hard for us to add value because I think really when we can provide education is another way that we're successful at shows, but...
Well, you're going to have Nina in Chicago, right?
Oh,
I'm saying
yes.
it again.
We're
again,
trying.
Nina.
She wants to. She wants to. But we'll see. I hope so. We always have Andreas there, and he's wacky, but he knows his stuff, and so people learn a lot from him every year at the booth. And then Florian Steinheber usually comes over. So all the time at the booth there's education going on, and we're kind of playing around with a few ideas of what we could do. It's a little bit reminiscent of how we started at Chicago. I used to have the technicians who used our products. There was no knowledge base here.
Yeah.
There were like 10 people who knew how to use our products.
Yeah. But now everybody talks about
Now
it.
everybody talks about it. But back in the day, nobody knew. And so we had the first 2 years of Chicago, I would rent a suite at the Swiss Hotel. And because Jensen had their big education day, people were already coming there to be educated.
Yeah.
So I just booked a suite and set up 3 tables in this like really cool corner suite, and I had a rotating schedule of technicians who would sit at the tables and demo something and talk with somebody, and only 4 people could sit at each table, so people could book appointments basically. If they wanted to learn how to use New Outline from Josh Polanski, they could sit there and he would talk with them and show it for about an hour. Very personal. So we're thinking about doing something like that to kind of celebrate where we came, how we started.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Rather than a room with 20 or 30 people all watching somebody do something.
Yeah.
I think it's cooler that, it's more personal.
And people can choose what they want to get from it. I think the big challenge for a manufacturer anyway, or a representative for a manufacturer, with these educational events is you're not going to make everybody happy with the entire program.
Sure.
So a few years ago, I realized the more I can segment the content, the better.
Smart, yeah.
So people can say, in a way, it leads to some missed opportunities because people think they know what they want to learn, but they may not realize that something else was important. So that we might miss some things there. But in general, people are bombarded with so much information.
Especially that weekend.
Weekend. So if they can just say, okay, what's important to me is that I leave Chicago being better at pink composite for my milled prototypes for forge.
Yeah.
Okay, because there are like 4 people who can teach you that. Here are the times, what works for you. So that's what we're planning.
I think it's cool. I think it's a great idea.
Good.
As long as Nina's one of them.
She's going to be one.
I keep pushing for her.
She's going to be one. And she's so, we only know her on social media.
Oh, I know. That's how I met her.
Yeah. So she's going to be somebody that'll be a little bit surreal to me in person, but I'm really hopeful that it works out because I'm looking forward to that.
She's blonde now. Did you see that?
No. I bet she looks so good. She's so cool.
I don't know. She posted something this morning where she was a blonde.
Okay, hold on. We're going to get a live reaction of blonde Nina. I got to see this.
I think it was a story.
See? Because she's still
there. She is
a beautiful brunette in her flaxen haired. Let's see. She is. She's blonde. Nina, girl. She looks good too. I like it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, see?
She's cool.
There's the power
Very
of the
cool.
Instagram right
there. Yes. I'm going to message her on that story, and I'm going to say,
we talked about
your hair is on the podcast, and it looks good. She's awesome. See, that's the before?
Yeah.
And that's the after. Girl. I sent her some flames.
There you go.
Okay.
Nice. Tay, thank you so much. Always great to catch up with you.
Yeah. Thank you. This was fun.
Good big things for you.
I hope so. Man, we try. We really, if there's one thing I can say about us, is that we will always try.
So I want to know, every year you do fantastic advertising for Christmas cards. You caught my attention last year with the 80s.
Yeah, I know.
What's this year?
I won't know until it comes. I don't know. That idea came about a week before we made the cards. And we always just kind of brainstorm. I don't remember whose idea that was. I think it was Rachel that found the picture that inspired that card. Yeah. And so I don't know what it'll be. Every year it's different.
Who knows?
We did a lame one year. It was actually a beautiful picture, but we did like this street art from Barcelona that Carlos Salvins from Annexent in Spain.
Yeah.
He's a wonderful photographer, and he takes pictures of street art. And so I did a card, and this is crazy. I might have caused COVID.
You really want that on record?
Listen to this story, and you'll wonder. So this card has beautiful street art, and I tried. I'm not a philosophical person.
Okay.
Like, some people in our industry are super philosophical. I am not, but I tried to be for a minute.
Yeah.
And inside the card it said, May 2020, in 2020, may you find unexpected beauty around every corner.
Or not.
We found something around every corner. And
So
it was
I made
unexpected.
T-shirts for the podcast, and it said 2020, the decade for dental technicians. And then a month later, we were all shut down.
We did it, Elvis. You
I
and
was
me
like, son of a...
put something out into the universe.
I still have the shirt.
And God said, not
No.
today.
No, we're not going to let you have the decade. We're at least going to mess up the
Nope.
first year.
Nope. So I had forgotten how prophetic that was, because that went out in January. We can't ever get our together for Christmas cards.
Yeah,
It's always
yeah,
New Year's
yeah.
cards.
It's cool.
So we had sent it out in January. And then by the time March rolled around, I kind of forgot about it. And then it was sitting on my desk, and I was like,
Son of a...
this was not a good year to send that card. And so not only did I learn not to be philosophical ever, but I was like, why did we even do that? Like, I think I didn't have an idea.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this picture's so cool. And now I know, like, we have to keep thinking until
Well,
we
we're
find
expecting
an idea.
epic next year.
Oh, I'll try.
I vote for cheesy 70s family photos.
So
where
we
you
did
have the
one-
hand on the shoulder.
We did one like that where everybody's eyes were closed. We were all like cheersing with little glasses, and everybody's eyes were closed. So we kind of did that. We had like really ridiculous Christmas sweatshirts
Yeah.
on. But 70s might be cool. Have you seen Mitch Hurst's Christmas cards?
Mm-mm.
So Mitch Hurst and his brother have a lab, and they do Christmas cards that every year.
They're just epic.
Oh my God, they're hilarious. I wait for them every year, and they never disappoint.
I want to get on his list.
Yeah, you have to. And he posts them on. He doesn't send them out. I don't think he sends them out.
Oh, they're just posted.
Just posted on
Oh.
Facebook. But
Well, that's
maybe
even
he
better.
gets them printed. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll find some and I'll send them to you.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I love a good
So I have
cheesy-
to say, he gets the credit because he's been doing this a lot longer than I have. Like, he gets the credit for that strategy of
Yeah.
making people laugh really hard at Christmas time.
As we all need.
Yes, we do.
Awesome, Tay. We're missing something on Ladies of the Mill. They're on stage.
It says, "Who knows your goals?"
Do you know your goal?
No,
No.
I feel it.
Secret is not having any.
You know, I am so driven by like a feeling. I just know things feel right when I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So I had to hire somebody who's like realistic and knows how to set goals and
Well,
keep
who
us
was
on
talking
track.
yesterday? The vision board. Do you have a vision board?
No. If I did, it would have the funniest stuff on it.
Yeah.
Though.
I have a vision board. It's sleep every day.
Yes.
Every day I want to get to bed and we'll go to sleep.
I want some time by myself. I want to take a bath. I want to read a book. These are the things.
They're small visions, but they're happy visions.
I know.
And
like,
they're achievable visions.
I feel so inferior as a woman when I hear somebody talk about how they had a vision board with a special fridge on it. And I'm like, I don't care what my fridge looks like. Like, maybe I should. Maybe that's what's missing. But I feel like me making a vision board would just call attention to, like, the areas of my life that I neglect. But it's
yeah,
working.
it's better just to bury those.
Better. I mean, my life's going pretty good, so why would I dig that up?
Whatever you're doing, it's working.
Exactly.
Let's not create more issues.
I don't need to know what I don't have. I need to be happy with what I do have.
Be grateful for what you have. I could put a ton of unachievable things on a board. Sure, if that's what
That's
you want
just
me
going
to
to make
do.
me feel bad.
When I don't get it. Nobody needs that in their life.
So nobody is paying me to lecture about creating a life that you want, and this is why.
I noticed you weren't on stage this weekend.
I was not. I'm going to be today.
Oh, yeah. The
Yep,
vendors on the
yep,
couch.
yep.
That's
I
going to be
am.
exciting.
James is very nervous. He's very scared because he told me, he said he's worried because I'm not as into lady stuff as other people. I said, what do you think I'm going to do? Go up there and say lady stuff is bad or what?
Use Jill's worst word possible.
I am worried about that. I am worried about that because I said something. I cussed already in front of her today. And then I immediately felt bad. And I looked. She was very nice about it. She didn't look at me like I was bad, but I know she doesn't like it. So I got to watch my mouth.
Yeah.
I've got to.
You got to pronounce Annex Dent, right?
Yes. I asked her. I was like, what are you going to ask me? She wouldn't tell me.
No.
That's killing James. He's like, she just needs to tell you, so you can prepare. And I said, Jill, what do these people want to know from me? I don't know how to run a dental lab.
From what I gather, they want to hear your story. But you only got 3 minutes.
That's the other thing. He knows I'm going to get up there and not let anybody talk.
Just tell everyone to listen. We'll figure out what episode you were on. So just listen to
Listen
episode
to that
1.
podcast. The whole thing is in there.
It's in there. Don't waste my time. I got visions to
I got a
accomplish.
vision board I got to finish. This is not on it. This couch is not on the vision board. Yeah, we should listen. Oh, see, this is cool. So they're talking about how much money, what to charge, and how to. This is the thing that I got feedback from people. They want to know more about the business strategy.
Oh, we're missing good stuff.
We are missing good
All
stuff.
right,
We
Tay,
should go.
thank you so much.
All right, thank
Appreciate you.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Whipmix is pleased to add the VeriCast OS, a burnout pattern print resin, to Whipmix's growing VeriBrand resin offering. VeriCast OS works with LCD and DLP printers in both 385 and 405 nanometer wavelengths. It prints accurate and detailed crowns, bridges, substructures, and RPD frameworks. It's durable and leaves no ash or residue. Since it burns out cleanly, VeriCast OS is ideal for investment casting and ceramic pressing. For optimal results, we recommend the Whipmix Resin Vest, which is a phosphate investment made specifically for burning out printed or milled resin patterns. Visit Whipmix.com to learn more about the VeriCast OS or any of Whipmix's other 3D print resins. A huge thanks once again to everyone who sat down with my partner Elvis at Ladies of the Mill Summit. I am really sorry I couldn't be there. I had some family issues that were super important. It might not have been a bad thing because then the conversation with Tay would have been probably another 40 minutes longer. So, special thanks to Jill and Christina for not only inviting the podcast to participate, but for providing a platform for so many technicians to refresh, reflect, and recharge. While the conversations from this last event are over, I will be sure to be there next year when we talk to a whole new group of Ladies of the Mill. Yay!
Super excited.
Me too.
About the same time next year, same place. We'll keep you posted.
Awesome.
All right, everybody. That's all we got for you. We'll talk to you next week.
Rebels. We were drinking vodka and cranberries and watching Friends.
Nice.